You join us in Imola as we prepare for what will undoubtedly be a magnificent day of racing. It's time, of course, for the Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix. 3.1 miles of track here at Imola, featuring 19 turns, 9 to the right and 10 to the left. Remember that Imola differs from most other Formula One circuits as it's driven anti-clockwise. Let's hope no one forgets that today. The exit from turn 18 will probably be the setup for many of today's overtakes, leading as it does into the longest straight of the circuit and its only DRS zone. And I'm delighted, as always, to introduce Anthony Davidson, who'll be taking you through all the action alongside me today. Now, let's talk about Sergio Perez.
Well, it was a really impressive lap in qualifying to get pole position, but are they going to be able to hold on to the lead into the first corner with so many quick starters around them? And let's see who's able to keep their tyres in that temperature sweet spot early on. You've got a great tyre warmer underneath your right foot, and the drivers need to make the most of that on the formation lap, lest they see themselves skating wide at turn 1 on cold rubber.
Let's run you through the driver grid order for today's exciting race. Sergio Perez will lead us away from pole position, and Lewis Hamilton completes the front row. Moving on to the rest of the grid, we have Verstappen, Bottas, Daniel Ricciardo and Vettel, Gasly, Tsunoda, Ocon and Lando Norris, Stroll, Leclerc, Carlos Sainz and Fernando Alonso, Latifi, Russell, Mick Schumacher and Nikita Mazepin, Giovinazzi and Kimi Raikkonen finishes off the grid. And with lights out just moments away, it's time to go down to the track.
Okay, here we go. I know what you can do. Don't let me down. Everything looks good on the power unit cycle, so let's concentrate on bringing tyres and brakes up to temperature. Keep an eye on the lights. The start sequence will begin as soon as the grid has formed. Be ready with the clutch. copy. Drop your speed, our delta is too low and we risk a penalty. Slow your pace immediately. Some information on Mazepin, they are out of the race. Confirmed. VSC ending, we're going green. Maintain positive delta until the green flags. Green flag. DRS is now available. You have P3. Hamilton is ahead of you. Gap to car in front is 1.4 seconds. They're on fresh softs. Bottas is behind you. Less than a second separate you. They're on fresh softs. The gap to the leader is 1.8 seconds. Pit window opens in 5 laps time. 5 laps, 14 laps to go. Only one stop to go. One stop left in this strategy. Pit window opens in 5 laps time. 5 laps. Good job. That was the fastest lap of the race so far. Underbodies incurred some slight damage, but nothing too serious. Bottas behind. The gap to the car behind is 1.1 seconds. They're on old softs. Their tyres are 3 laps old. We think they've got one more stop. The car behind has some front wing damage. We should be able to pull a gap. The time last lap was a 1 minute 19.2. We're trailing our teammate by 2.4 seconds. Gap ahead is 1.9 seconds. The underbody's taken a little damage. Watch out for it. We're approaching the pit window. You'll be on the mediums. The car behind is dropping back by about 0.3 a lap. Hamilton ahead. Our gap to the car in front is 1.5 seconds. They're on old softs. Their tyres are 6 laps old. We think they've got one more stop. The car ahead has some front wing damage, but is not losing much pace yet. The time last lap was a 1:20.5. You're gaining by 0.3 a lap. Good work. In this lap, push now. Pitting this lap then, come into the pits at the end of this lap. Right, come in at the end of this lap. The gap to the car ahead is 1.7 seconds. Tyre condition is still looking good. Sergio is in the pits. Go, exit now. We're racing on the exit. Complete, go now. That was our last stop. No more scheduled pit stops. Gap to teammate ahead is 7.1 seconds. They're on fresh mediums. They're in 5th. You're now in P7. P7. Sergio is ahead of you. Gap to car in front is 6.9 seconds. They're on fresh mediums. The time last lap was a 1 minute 41.0. That's Sergio ahead. Okay, gap ahead is 6.9 seconds. They're on fresh mediums. The time last lap was a 1:41.0. Sergio is ahead of you. Our gap to the car in front is 7.1 seconds. They're on fresh mediums. Their tyres are 1 lap old. The time last lap was a 1 minute 19.5. Sergio ahead. The gap to the car ahead is 7.0 seconds. They're on fresh mediums. Their tyres are 1 lap old. The time last lap was a 1:19.5. Hamilton is behind you. The gap behind us is 4.4 seconds. They're on fresh mediums. The time last lap was a 1 minute 20.6. laps of fuel remaining. Hamilton behind. Okay, the gap behind is 3.9 seconds. They're on fresh mediums. Their tyres are 3 laps old. The time last lap was a 1:19.3. You're sat in P2. Gap to car in front is 6.9 seconds. They're on fresh mediums. Hamilton is behind you. Our gap behind is 3.9 seconds. They're on fresh mediums. Pit strategy complete. See these tyres through to the end now. 4 laps remaining. Hamilton behind. The gap to the car behind is 3.1 seconds. They're on fresh mediums. The time last lap was a 1:19.3. There's 3 laps of fuel remaining. Okay, the car behind is catching you by 5/10 a lap. 5/10. This is your final lap of the race. Hamilton is behind you. The gap behind us is 1.0 seconds. They're on old mediums. Their tyres are 6 laps old. The time last lap was a 1:18.9. That's the end of the race. We'll see you in Parc Fermé.
Victory for the team from Milton Keynes then, after a quality performance. Tell me, Ant, how did they manage to achieve this win?
Well, time management probably played quite a large role in the outcome of this one. As ever, it's not just about speed, it's all about maintaining that speed consistently over a stint, over a race distance. So being able to keep up the lap times while still being smooth on the controls and gentle on the tyres, that's really where the race was won today.
The drivers are en route to the podium as we speak. What a fantastic win for the Red Bull team. They performed exceptionally today, keeping us firmly on the edge of our seats throughout the entirety of the race. Congratulations to everyone at the team. A result that will make Sergio Perez happy as he pushes his championship lead out even further. After an incredible day of racing, who was your driver of the day, Ant?
It's got to be Lando Norris, hasn't it? Smooth, confident and assured. I've got no doubt that he and his team are going to be over the moon with his performance today.
Well, Ant, an end to another fantastic weekend of racing. Thanks to everyone who joined us, and we'll see you for the next one.